In this question, the rule of the function whose graph is shown above is one of these. So with this question, the easiest way I believe is to choose points that belong to the graph, such as 0, 0, and this point here minus 4, 0, and if needed, this top point minus 2, 3. Sub the x value of each one at a time into these equations and eliminate the ones that don't give me y equals 0, and I'll show you how to do it. So subbing x equals 0 into here, 0, absolute value of 0 is 0 times minus 3 on 2 is 0 plus 3 equals 3, and I'm looking for a y value of 0. So a is definitely not the answer because this point does not belong to this function. Subbing 0 in here, you end up with 3. Absolute value of 3 is 3. 3 times a positive number is a positive number plus 2 is definitely not equal to 0. Doing the same thing here, when you let x equals 0, you end up with 2 inside and you get the same result that you would have gotten in here if you subbed x in. And so C is definitely not the answer. And for D, I wanted to show you the substitution, and so you can be clear on how to work this out, because you just never know, you might get a question like this in the short answer exam where you don't have a calculator. So you've got to know your steps, and it's always good to practice steps and then verify with calculator. So I've already subbed the 0 into this equation here. So minus 3 on 2, and then this equals 2. Absolute value of 2 is 2, and then that multiplied by that, and then plus 3, and then work this out. So minus 3 times 2, I'll do it this way. So minus 3 times 2 on the top is minus 6. 2 times 1 on the bottom is 2, and then plus 3. Minus 6 divided by 2 equals minus 3. Plus 3, that equals 0. And when you do the same thing with this one, when you let x equal 0, you end up with 2 inside the absolute value sign, which is what I got here, and everything else about the sum is the same. I'm going to get 0, 0 for that one. So when I sub x as 0, I'm going to get 0 for y. So that means D and E could be the equation. So what that means is I now need to sub another x value in and check to see whether I get y equals 0. So subbing, letting x equals minus 4 and subbing that into this one first. So y equals minus 3 on 2, absolute value of 2 minus the x value, which is minus 4, and then plus 3, and then that equals minus 3 on 2 times by, this is plus, 2 plus 4 is 6, and that's 6 over 1. I've jumped a little bit there, but anyway, 2 plus 4 is 6, absolute value of 6 is 6, and 6 equals 6 over 1, and then plus 3. And then minus 3 times 6 is minus 18, on the bottom 2, and then plus 3. This equals minus 9, plus 3 equals minus 6, which is not equal to 0. So I'll just do this. So this time I get 0 minus 6. Whoops, minus 4 minus 6 is what I meant to write. Minus 4, comma, minus 6. And I was after y equals 0 here. So that means that minus 4, 0 doesn't belong to this function here. And I'll check to see if it is in this one. And normally in an exam, if I was confident that I'd done the right steps, I would then go, well, E is definitely the answer. So I'll verify by subbing that in. And so this time y equals minus 3 on 2, absolute value of minus 4 plus 2, plus 3, and then equals minus 3 on 2 times by minus 4 plus 2 is minus 2. Absolute value of that is plus 2. Put it over 1 and plus 3. And then you end up with minus 6 over 2, multiplying the tops and the bottoms together. And then this is minus 3 plus 3, which equals 0. So the point that you get when you sub minus 4 into this equation is minus 4, 0, which was what I was after. So these 2 points belong to here, but not to this one. So that means E is definitely the answer for this one. So once again, when you have to find whether a point belongs to a straight line or a curve, you just sub the X value in and check to see whether you get the Y value of that point. And if you do, then the point belongs to the curve. And if you don't, then it means the point doesn't belong to the curve. So that's how you do this question.